this very auspicious occasion where we launch the Pavilion for St. Kitts and Nevis at this historic COP28. But before I get started, let me, of course, recognize a number of critical persons here. I want to recognize our Foreign Minister and Senior Minister, the Honorable Dr. Denzil Douglas, who is now doing some diplomacy to make sure that everything flows as should. I also want to recognize the Leader of Government Business, Minister of Government, the Honorable Conris Maynard, the Honorable Dr. Joya Clark, Minister of Sustainability et al. And I also want to take this opportunity to also recognize the PSAs among us, but to also recognize with us who have come to witness the launch of this pavilion, our dear friends from the Republic of China, Taiwan, and the leader of this delegation here today, Mr. Jason Liang. I want to welcome you, the Director General, Department of Treaty and Legal Affairs, and your delegation to this launch. Let's put our hands together for the delegation. Let me, of course, recognize all the other members and persons who are here, those from St. Kitts and Nevis in their different capacity, and those from the Republic of China, Taiwan in their different capacity, and those who are members of the press and the media and well-wishers to witness this auspicious occasion. It is my first COP as Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, and I take this opportunity to really absorb to a great extent the importance of a meeting such as this, or gathering. It is where the world meets to really discuss, but not only to discuss, but to reach tangible solutions to the existential threat that we all face at this present moment, the threat of climate change and all that comes with it. St. Kitts and Nevis, of course, although being a small nation, will not be left behind, will be on the front line as we are shoved on the front line as a small island state dealing with the scourge of climate change, an issue that we have to deal with. But of course, we did not create it. Nonetheless, we have to be bold and fearless and be part of the solution and not the problem. And that is why it is important that we are here today at this auspicious occasion to launch our pavilion and say to the world that we are part of the solution. But I also want to take this opportunity to welcome our dear friends from the Republic of China, Taiwan. Taiwan, as you know, is also an island state and has contributed significantly to solutions to deal with the scourge of climate change. And so I think the world is also indebted to the Republic of China, Taiwan for its contribution to finding solutions to the difficulties that we face at this time. And there is no doubt that Taiwan, as an island state, is also facing similar issues with climate change as we are in St. Kitts and Nevis. And so we share similar experiences, and together we must work to find common solutions which will benefit all of our peoples. And that is why we said today that Taiwan should be invited in the room at the United Nations to lend support, their expertise, experiences, and the measures to help to solve the issues of climate change. So we want to thank you for your contribution to climate change issues and helping to resolve the matter as well. And to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis and to the wider Caribbean, that we are resolved to develop a sustainable island state. We are bold enough to say that it's possibly the first one that can be developed on this planet. It is because, not to our disadvantage, but possibly to our advantage, that our small size allows us to create a model that the rest of the world can look to. And that is why we have signed, and I want to thank the Ministry of Energy and the Minister of Energy for really pursuing, along with the AG's office, the renegotiation of our solar energy plant that is to be developed on St. Kitts and Nevis, which will contribute about 30% of our total energy needs, and that will be, of course, renewable. So we are actually part of the solution. So put your hands together for the Minister of Energy and the Ministry for their significant and hard work. St. Kitts and Nevis is also pursuing the development of geothermal as an energy source. We think that this can finally resolve our issues with respect to energy and put us on the path to 100% renewables, and also give us the opportunity to help all of the other countries around us and to help issues with respect to transport and international matters of converting from one source of energy to mainly another source, which is renewable, of course. So we are actually a part of the solution. So to our people, it is a bold step. But as we say in St. Kitts and Nevis, we are small, but we are Talawa, meaning we are small, but we are bold, and we will help to be part of the solution. And like the Republic of China, Taiwan, you are small as well, but you have definitely shown the world that notwithstanding that you are small, you can be a part of the world's solution, and you have demonstrated that. So I want to say to all, welcome, and I will turn this over eventually to the Senior Minister, Minister of Foreign Affairs, to launch this pavilion, as I have another activity to attend. But I would like to say today that I'm immensely proud of all those who have been here, the Minister of Sustainable Development, Dr. Joya Clark, who has really led on making sure that 2 days activity happens and that we are present at COP in sufficient numbers and presence so that we can say to the world that we are actually at the front line as well. So thank you very much, and may this launch be successful.
Well, as the Prime Minister so rightfully said, Foreign Minister Dr. Douglas, I'll now invite you to the podium to officially launch the Pavilion of St. Kitts and Nevis. Dr. Douglas, please give him a warm round of applause.
Thank you, Madam Master of Ceremonies. Coming to you live from the St. Kitts Nevis COP28 Pavilion in the United Arab Emirates. I want to thank the Prime Minister for giving the opening remarks, as yet again, for 2 years in succession, we of St. Kitts and Nevis, the delegation led by our Prime Minister, is here at COP28. Last year in Egypt, in Sharm el-Sheikh, we were there, and we did have a pavilion, the St. Kitts Nevis Pavilion, when very few countries at that time would have had their own pavilion. And so today we want to thank our partners in our development who have made this possible yet again. I want to thank the government and the people of Taiwan who have assisted in making it possible for us to be physically located here and thus to showcase to the entire world what St. Kitts and Nevis's own agenda is with regard to climate action, given the circumstances under which planet Earth now finds itself. I want to also thank not only the government and the people of Taiwan, but also the Ministry of Sustainable Development, which has a relatively large team here, and to thank in particular the staff from the various departments of that ministry who have worked tirelessly since we have arrived here less than maybe 24 hours ago, to make this pavilion possible. I want to thank as well not only the Minister of Sustainable Development and Environment and Constituency Empowerment, who is here with us, Dr. Clark, but also the Minister of Utilities and Energy, the Minister of Works, the Honorable Mr. Maynard, Congress Maynard, who is also part of this delegation and who has made significant contribution in making this pavilion possible. I also, of course, would like to thank the Ministry of Economic Development and Investment, which also has contributed to the staff that represents our government and our people here at this particular time. We have our Permanent Secretary, Ms. Williams, in the Ministry of Sustainable Development and Environment. We have our immediate past Permanent Secretary, Ms. Sharon Rattan, of that same ministry. We also have directors of both ministries who are here, and also, of course, Advisor Chris Freeman in the Ministry of Trade and Industry, and, of course, associated with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which also has contributed to staff members here. In fact, we have not only sustainable development, not only economic development and investment, not only foreign affairs, but all sectors, all departments of government that are engaged in this very critical exercise to make this possible. We also, of course, as part of the delegation from the Ministry of Energy, have representatives from the Nevis Electricity Company and the St. Kitts Electricity Companies, Nevlec and Skelec, who are here to understand and see firsthand what their challenges and roles will have to be over the next few years. Finally, I want to emphasize, as the Prime Minister himself has said, we are a relatively small nation. This morning I listened to presentations coming from leaders, and one country leader, that is the Prime Minister of Malta, he said Malta is a small country. Imagine if he's calling Malta a small country, what would be referred to as St. Kitts and Nevis, which is so much times smaller than Malta. But the whole point is that whether we are small or we are large, whether we are islands or of mainland continents, we are experiencing the same challenges as inhabitants of planet Earth. We are determined to ensure that we, not only by ourselves, but with the mobilization of our friends at the national level of countries and at the level of international organizations, we are determined to ensure that we overcome the challenges that we are facing today. And we have determined that we can become a significant, resilient, sustainable island people and state if we were to do the things that are right. And if we were to mobilize the necessary resources that will bring sustainability to the livelihoods of our people in St. Kitts and Nevis. We need to ensure that the challenge of energy is overcome by that which is renewable or sustainable energy. We've identified the potential of geothermal. And we recognized yesterday when we were speaking at one of the forums for business and philanthropy at this COP28 here at the UAE. We made the point very strongly that if we were to mobilize partnership and friends to realize the potential of geothermal, which sits on the sister island of Nevis to St. Kitts, we would be able, I am sure, to solve not only our energy problems, we would be able as well to provide sustainable water supplies for our people. We would be able, of course, to ensure that with adequate water, we would be able to grow our food and thus realize food security, which is so critical for our own survivability. And we would be able to generate employment opportunities, especially in the area of manufacturing, so that we can become a real partner with Taiwan in terms of realizing the potential of the semiconductor industry and make our own contribution in this world on planet Earth. It is with great pride and honor that I now declare this pavilion, the SKN at COP28 St. Kitts Nevis Pavilion, officially open. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas, for those motivating words that underscore the need for our collaborative efforts towards climate action. Now, let us turn our attention to the person that has been instrumental in the coordination of this event, Ms. Narissa Williams, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Environment, who will provide a thoughtful welcome and introduction. Thank you. Ms. Williams.
Thank you, Ms. Connor, very much for that warm welcome. Permit me to adopt the protocol so ably established prior. It is with great pleasure and excitement that I welcome you to the opening of St. Kitts and Nevis's Pavilion here at COP28. Driven by the government's overarching objective of transforming our federation into a sustainable island state, we gather together today as we launch this space where we will dialogue on discuss, debate, dissect, but ultimately decide on the path and partners who will enable us to achieve our commitment to sustainability and resilience in the face of climate challenges. As we embark on this journey together over the next 2 weeks, let us acknowledge the urgency of our collective responsibility to safeguard our planet. Small island developing states like St. Kitts and Nevis face unique and pressing threats from climate change, and our pavilion stands as a testament to our determination to address these challenges head on. But we could not and would not have been able to do it alone. And so today we acknowledge the partnership and supportive efforts of the Republic of China and Taiwan, in facilitating the availability and use of this pavilion, a place to advance our agenda and grow our network of partners. Thank you. The pavilion theme, moving from concrete to canopy to create a climate resilient symphony, encapsulates our vision for a sustainable future, a transition from the rigidity of concrete to the adaptability and vitality of resilience. In embracing this metaphor, we recognize the need to foster green growth, protect diversity, and create a harmonious balance between human development and the preservation of our fragile ecosystems. St. Kitts and Nevis' participation in COP28 is not merely symbolic. It is a declaration of our unwavering commitment to the Sustainable Island State agenda. We are here to share our experiences, insights, and innovations, but more importantly, to collaborate with the global community in finding practical solutions to the climate crisis. I welcome you again to this space, a space for dialogue, cooperation, and inspiration, a platform for sharing success stories, discussing challenges, and forging partnerships that will propel us toward a more sustainable and resilient future. Through this collective effort, we aim to turn challenges into opportunities and vulnerabilities into strengths. As we explore the possibilities within our theme, let us be reminded that every action we take today shapes the world of tomorrow. Together, let us move beyond rhetoric to concrete action, transforming our aspirations into a reality that ensures a thriving planet for generations to come. Thank you, and let the journey towards St. Kitts and Nevis' becoming a sustainable island state continue.
Again, we're back to our role as parliamentarians. When we review budgets, we need also to look at the
Thank you.
and do reassessments.
Thank you, Ms. Narissa Williams, for that eloquent introduction. And on that note, as we conclude this juncture, I'll now invite Mr. Glenroy Branchett, Permanent Secretary in the Prime Minister's Office, who will provide heartfelt acknowledgments and appreciation. Mr. Blanchett.
I can share with you from each of the
Thank you, Madam Chair. Pleasant good afternoon to all. My task is a very simple one, and that is to say thanks. And so I want to thank the Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Terence Michael Drew, for delivering the opening remarks and really putting into sharp focus what our mission is here at COP28 and in terms of the opening of the St. Kitts and Nevis Pavilion. Our Honorable Prime Minister has really captured the hearts and minds of Kittitians and Nevisians, with his leadership. His administration has really championed making St. Kitts and Nevis a sustainable island state. And so we are really happy and excited about how we can move forward to fulfilling that vision, not just for the present, but for future generations to come. And so I thank our Honorable Prime Minister for his leadership. Permit me also to thank the Director General from the Republic of China and Taiwan, Mr. Jason Liang. Thank you for your presence, you and your colleagues. Indeed, China, the Republic of China and Taiwan has been a long friend and partner of St. Kitts and Nevis for over 40 years. And so we have benefited tremendously by that partnership and your commitment to assist St. Kitts and Nevis in times of need. And so I want to say a special thank you to the government and people of the Republic of China and Taiwan. Honorable Senior Minister, Foreign Affairs, I want to thank you for your remarks. Your legacy in terms of your work, your body of work in developing St. Kitts and Nevis is tremendous. And so your presence here is a continuing testament to your commitment, your service to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. And so we are indeed proud of your years of service and your continued commitment and the inspiration that you give us, especially in this time where climate change continues to be an existential threat to humanity. And so while there are a lot of platitudes about what action is to be taken, St. Kitts and Nevis, along with other small island developing states, we are at greater risk from the impacts of climate change. And so we are doing all that we can to mitigate those impacts, but we are in need of help. And so we continue to reach out to the global community for the assistance that we can build resilience for our country. And so, Honorable Foreign Minister, we thank you for your remarks once again. We also have with us the Honorable Congress Maynard, Minister of Energy, Infrastructure et al. We thank you for your presence here this afternoon. Indeed, you are spearheading our energy efficiency agenda for St. Kitts and Nevis, and that is a Herculean task before you. But indeed, I know that you're up to the challenge. And so, again, thank you for your presence here at this opening ceremony. Honorable Joel Clark, Minister of Environment, Sustainable Development et al., we thank you for your presence here. Indeed, your team was hard at work all week to pull off this opening ceremony. Pardon? All right. And so we are thankful for your work thus far, the efforts at COP28, and all those who are part of this process. Other officials who are here this today to witness this official opening ceremony, we thank you for coming. We thank you for being a part of this experience. We wish you a continued successful COP28 and continue to enjoy all that St. Kitts and Nevis has to offer this afternoon. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Mr. Blanchett. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of our official launch of our pavilion. And on that note, I would like to say we have a long week ahead of us, filled with engaging activities centered around climate action. So once you are finished taking in all the activities that you would participate during this week, please feel free to stop by Building 21 and rest off. Also, invite your colleagues and friends to the St. Kitts and Nevis Pavilion. With that being said, thank you for joining us, and we have some goodies to the back where you all may take and indulge in the little, the Monday event. Sorry. I would like to invite you guys to our Monday event, which is the ministerial engagement that would feature all the ministers that are present here today. And please feel free to stop by and indulge in the different speeches and sessions that we'll have featured at 10:30. It will begin at 10:30 and then it will commence at 12:30. Then we will reconvene later in the afternoon. Okay, thank you all once again, and please feel free to pick up the gift bags we have in the back. Thank you.
Nepal is not divided. I heard some honorables told here that sometimes there is a contradiction, a difference of opinions between the government and the parliament member, government and the people. But I really categorically say